Hi, I'm Wendy. Good Monday morning. You know, if you've been in ministry for any amount of time, you've probably hit that point where it doesn't feel like it's much of a privilege to be in ministry. I know that that is an issue for a lot of leaders. In fact, recently I was having a conversation with someone where they said they were surprised at how many leaders that they had run into that actually felt like ministry had just sucked the life out of them. Well, let me encourage you. If you are in that position today, or if you get in that position tomorrow, you're certainly not alone. See, when you hit that moment, the chances are, and the irony is, that probably you're in that moment because you've been in the heat of battle, because you've been fighting for God's kingdom. You know, in 1 Kings chapter 17 and 18, we see one of the most amazing stories. It's the story of the prophet Elijah. And Elijah in chapter 18 of 1 Kings actually goes up against 850 false prophets on Mount Carmel. And you know the story. They both have the altars, and Elijah waits and waits for their gods to show up, and they don't. And so Elijah says, okay, now cover this altar with water. And then the fire comes down, and God shows up in a big way. And after God shows up in this big way, the famine that had been going on forever stops, and God brings rain. So Elijah is on this mountaintop experience. He has literally had to put on his armor. He has literally gone against some of the biggest spiritual warfare that probably he had ever encountered. And then the next chapter, the very next chapter, tells that the queen decided that because of this, Elijah needed to die. And Elijah takes his eyes off of God and puts them on the physical perspective, and he runs into the wilderness. And in this wilderness moment, this place where he feels like he can't do anything, this place where he feels like, honestly, he's just ready to give up. He says to God, will you please just let me die? I don't know if you've ever felt that way before. But here's the most amazing thing in this story. It was in this moment that God sends his angel to Elijah, and he lets him rest. And then he feeds him. He literally feeds him physically. And then right after that, God himself comes to Elijah in a way that he had never experienced him before. And he refreshes and restores Elijah's spirit. So let me encourage you this Monday. Maybe you're in one of those wilderness moments. Maybe it's something that you don't know how to overcome. First of all, remember, you're in good company. There's a good chance that you've been in the middle of great battle for God's kingdom. Remember, in the wilderness, God longs so desperately for you to just turn your face toward him. Let him nourish you and find rest completely in him today.